The athlete and the drug addict are both fighting the same battle. They're fighting their demons. We're all addicted to something. It could be social media, food, masturbation, making money, alcohol, drugs, exercise, shopping. The list goes on and on. But we are all addicted to something, and that's because we are all fighting demons. In this video, we're going to outline and test the demon hypothesis, which is my own theory of addiction. And then we're going to put in place an actionable plan of how you can change your habits and your harmful behaviors for better ones. This was me at 15, and my primary addiction at this point was video games, Fortnite in particular. But to understand why I was addicted to video games, we first have to go back to 1587 and look at one of the greatest stories of all time, the Faust legend. This German moral tale presents the story of a man named Dr. Faustus, who sold his soul to the devil for knowledge and power. The devil visited Faust in the form of a demon known as Mephistopheles, a deceptive trickster who knew exactly how to pull on the strings of Faust's desires and temptations. Eventually, Faust is taken by the devil to burn in hell for eternity, and he realizes that all the knowledge and power he gained was not as valuable as his own soul. Now, the reason that story is relevant is because we all have a form of Mephistopheles inside of our own mind. The negative voice in your head and the drive for instant gratification is what I call the demons in our minds. And I think that we develop addictions as a solution to the problem of our internal demons. We develop behavior patterns that distract us from our demons, and we deal with the negative consequences of those because we feel that shutting up the negative voice in our head seems pretty worth it. And 15-year-old me had demons telling him that he wasn't good enough. Where these ideas came from, I'm not really sure, but they certainly were there, and they still haunt me from time to this day. I became addicted to video games because number one, they distracted me from my demons, and number two, winning a game of Fortnite or getting on a great kill streak made me feel like I was winning something or achieving something and that I was good enough. And maybe that shut up the demons in my head when they told me that I was insufficient. But when the game turned off, I had this level of dissatisfaction with myself return, and my mental health suffered as a consequence. I can explain that. Who was that? It's me, it's Scientist Joel. I can explain that dissatisfaction. Okay, go on then. We've all heard the phrase, what goes up must come down, right? Well, there's a part of the brain called the mesolimbic reward system, and when you partake in an addictive behavior, dopamine and other neurochemicals spike in this area. They massively increase, and that makes us feel great. However, when that experience ends, we finish the cake, or we stop scrolling on TikTok, or we bust that nut, dopamine falls. And unfortunately, it falls below the baseline. It falls to below where it was before we took part in that activity. And therefore, we're left with a feeling of dissatisfaction, low motivation, and low self-esteem after we've done something that we regret. And similarly, when you are exposed to the same stimulus on a frequent basis, the level of dopamine and other neurotransmitters that are released in the brain when you take part in that activity decrease. We build up a kind of level of resistance to that behavior, and therefore it doesn't give us so much of a thrill, and we need more of that thing to give us the same good feeling. We need more drugs, more sugar, more Fortnite kills. Well, I did anyway. Not the drugs bit though. Now that you understand addiction, what it looks like in the brain, and the demons in our head that drive it, we can now look at the potential pathway that we can all take to develop healthier behavior patterns. The demon hypothesis states that we can't get rid of our demons and that we are all addicted to something, so I'm not going to try and stop you from being an addict. What I'm going to advise is that you become a different kind of addict, because not all addictions are equal. Let's look at two examples. Person A is addicted to their phone. They have 8 hours plus of screen time, and they spend all their time outside of work or school doom scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. Whereas person B is addicted to going to the gym. They train 6, maybe 7 days a week. They're proper strict with their diet and training, and they obsess over their strength and size gains. Neither of these people are particularly healthy. They are definitely both addicts. But when you look at the longer term consequences of their behavior, you can certainly see that these two addictions are not equal. Person A will fry their brain and waste their time. They won't be able to focus on the work that they need to do, and all the time spent on TikTok doesn't improve their lives. Whereas person B will, over time, become healthier. Their body composition will improve, and they'll start to look better. And that will probably increase their confidence, and it will also probably increase the respect they get from other people, and they will feel better about themselves. There is certainly a higher upside. Now, I understand that an obsession with exercise and diet at the extreme can be a bad thing. We've got things like body dysmorphia, eating disorders, and steroid use, which aren't good, but there are certainly more upsides to being addicted to working out than being addicted to your phone or a drug or alcohol. At about the age of 16, my addiction changed. It changed from video games to making progress in different areas of my life, like studying, like going to the gym, like basketball, and eventually when I started this YouTube channel, content creation. I still have demons, don't get me wrong, and from time to time they will still tell me that I'm not good enough. However, I have healthier means of dealing with them. So an actionable plan for you looks like this. Identify your demons and what they make you believe, and make sure that you know that you are separate from the negative voice in your head. Then you need to find an activity that gives you satisfaction to distract you from those demons and quieten that voice in your head. At the same time though, this activity should provide a level of value to your life. It should be the most beneficial thing you can think of doing for yourself, your loved ones, and your overall community. Ideally, this is an activity that sustains a positive feeling of satisfaction, sustains a dopamine rise for as long a period of time as possible, and that it has a net positive impact on your life as a whole. You could be addicted to getting really, really bloody good at your job. Or you could be addicted to the satisfaction that comes from trying to strengthen your relationships. You could be addicted to improving your health or helping others improve your health. There are so many things. You need a source of dopamine in your life, and you need an outlet to quieten the demons in your mind. But you should pick that activity wisely so that if you become addicted, it makes your life better as a consequence and doesn't make your life worse. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more of my content, you can click this video here, and you can also look down in the description for my weekly newsletter and my psychotherapy mindset coaching service where you can book a free first call with me. See you next time.